Folks, Dave from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds, and today I'm hanging out with the ladies of the Scarlet Sisterhood. We're going to be playing some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and it feels like we haven't been together in such a very long time, but I believe it's only merely been 2 weeks. So
that's forever.
It does feel like forever. Unfortunately, I have been able to get some other D&D gaming in between, and I hope you ladies have as well.
I tried to kill Jean again in our home game.
Yeah, tried. So that sounds like a failure. So who's got the recap? I think we're going to need it.
I have it. Okay, so last time on Scarlet Sisterhood, we made friends with someone new. Haley Fallandane is a life cleric and devotee of the goddess Quinthil, who coincidentally has recently had a temple and school crop up in Gryphongaffe. The priest who raised the temple is Relian, and he has a follower that's super cute and insists she's not Twitter-pated with him, but I'm pretty sure I don't believe her. He's kind of weird looking, though, with long green-streaked hair, a snowflake tattoo, and lemon yellow eyes. While we were at the temple, we found out there had been some trouble with a town miles off that had been beset by demons. Woo. And we wanted to go check it out and see if we could get some inside scoop from Relian himself. So before we set out, we ended up having a party in the bathhouse. Kath terrorized poor Vance again because this is one of her favorite pastimes. However, in the process of going there, we were waylaid by this wood dragon creature. It didn't really want to talk. It thought Deneen had taken something from the Feywild, and we never did figure out what that was. And honestly, that was the hardest combat we have ever had, mostly because most of us couldn't reach it. But Kath and Agnetha finally did end up kicking its ass, and then it dissolved, leaving behind a heart that is literally an emerald. Oh, and we have weird letters in regards to the Fae. So, Crenula, Cryolna, Starglade, Glaive. It's one of those Fae names. Anyway, she's a mistress of the Winter Court and has dark treants that serve her. Her lair is the Silver Citadel. There are wolves, and we're kind of concerned about this ominous point made about becoming one of her pets. Oh, yes, things are about to get frigid.
That pretty much sums it up. Thank you, Megan.
So are you telling me winter is coming?
Yes.
Is that, yep, yeah.
Yep.
And there may or may not be wolves.
That's the Archfey who has the her hooks into Deneen's husband and by extension kid. So not good.
But Deneen is really young, and she could probably start over again fairly easily.
Yeah, people are disposable. She clearly does not care about these people because she has so many other ties to other people. No, that's not how it works.
So, you guys have just defeated this creature, a mosaic of leaves and vines and other organic materials. All woven together to form this huge draconic-like form. As Megan had said, it was a tough fight, especially because it could fly, and several of you ended up way too high in the air, probably. But Agnetha was able to swoop like an eagle and kind of save the day. And plenty of smiting from Kath as well put this beastie down.
Some arrows.
There was definitely some arrows.
I should probably open my character sheet.
But that being said, like I said, it dissolved, forming this heart shape, and impetuous as always, Agnetha rushes forward to grab the spoils and see what they are. And oh, dang it! I just told you the name and I've forgotten. Is it Holly?
Holly?
Hallie, in her wisdom, seeing Agnetha reach for this foreign object, goes to stop her. Inadvertently, they both touch it, and there's a flash of green emerald light, and they both vanish, leaving behind.
Is it a port key?
Leaving behind just the gem.
Oh man, she hadn't healed me yet.
Maybe we shouldn't pick this up.
That dragon was upset that I supposedly took something from the Feywild, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all green and leafy and kind of Feyish.
If you're about to make an argument about how we should leave this emerald here, just stop now, because it's not going to work.
Use gloves.
I'm not arguing. I'm just pointing out there's a Fey thing going on here, and I'd rather not end up back in the Feywild any more often or sooner than I have to.
We were heading to the Feywild.
We were? I thought we were going to that city where there was a demon invasion or something.
Carshapathian. Believe you guys were heading to Carshapathian with the letters? Unless I'm misremembering.
We were going to go back up Relian where this village was beset by demonic creatures.
Well, back up. You say back up, I say interview. But that said, our friends just disappeared, and maybe if we touch the gem, we'll call it and be able to save them. Maybe.
Or trapped in a gem forevermore. Is there any way to tell what's going on with this thing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I poke it with a stick.
No, nothing happens when you poke it with the stick.
I slide down my Eye of Minute Scene, and I take a good look at it.
Oh, all right. So, give me a perception check.
Ooh, I have advantage with my eye on.
DC 15.
Perception. Yes, 19.
You see tiny figures moving about in there, and you can see that there's only two, and you see them in kind of silhouette.
Oh,
what?
And they look vaguely familiar.
I pull off my bandana, and I use it to cover the edges of the gem, and then I pick it up. And I hold it closer with like the cloth as a barrier, and I shake it a little bit.
You see the figures kind of like wobble around inside, like an earthquake is hit.
Oh, okay. So, I think they're in here. And I think they're sensitive to the motion because, like, when I do this, they kind of flail around a little bit.
And you point that out by doing that again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kenna laughs first and then says maybe we should find some way to stabilize the gem while we're carrying it.
Would it get jostled around if we put it in the bag of holding? Is that kind of another...
I don't know. Would it be safe to put them in the bag of holding?
If it's nope, Deneen doesn't know anything about this. Sure, yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Oh, I mean, because if that thing is a pocket plane, wouldn't it just break stuff?
Oh, yes. But is it a pocket plane?
Let's not put it in the bag of holding just in case.
Kenna, I'd just like to say I really admire your extreme restraint in merely poking it with a stick instead of also getting trapped in there.
Oh, thank you.
That's called wisdom and experience.
Oh, I don't have detect. I don't have detect magic prepped, which I assume this thing is magic, but typically the spell would have given me information about what kind of magic and if we could have put it in the bag of holding. But I didn't think that I would need that most today, so I don't have it.
I don't have it today either.
Maybe if we smash it, they'll come out of it.
Ooh.
That's probably not a good idea.
Oh, you do have something. You do have something that is really good at smashing things.
Calf?
Okay, don't listen to the devil on your shoulder.
Did Agatha's sword go with her, or was it perchance dropped?
The glaive?
Yes.
Oh no, their equipment went with them.
Oh.
Well, I don't know anything about any of this pocket magic stuff. So while you two figure this all out, I'm gonna get wisdom back.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
Janine starts digging components out of her bag.
Clearly, touching it with our bare hands is a bad idea. You got it in that handkerchief, and it didn't cause you any problems. So maybe if we wore gloves, it would be okay. But maybe we don't want to risk that. So I'm thinking we just take a box or something and maybe like line it with cotton balls so they don't get jostled around too much, and just kind of put them in a saddlebag. Like, I'm sure Arun wouldn't mind carrying them.
Do you...
Arun's gone too.
Carry cotton balls?
Let me check my bag of things.
We could wrap it up in my silky scarf from my super dancy fancy Elfie outfit. That's soft.
That would work. I have costume stuff.
Is Arun gone?
He and Wisdom both got disincorporated during the fight.
Oh, I out of character, I forgot to take off his last few hit points, so I thought he was still here.
I'm like,
it was tragic.
Out marble, caltrops, costume jewelry, more clothes, and hourglass.
Deneen pulls her scarf out of her bag, and it's ridiculously long. And she says, if I could get Wisdom back, we could probably send her in there with a note. Maybe I could even talk to her while she's in there. I don't know.
Can you dismiss her as well? Like, I can send Arun away. So what if, like,
I can dismiss her, bring her back, dismiss her, bring her back.
Yeah, so
I can do that. That's very handy.
Maybe send her in with a note, dismiss her, and
then bring her back.
Call her back, yeah. Or let her wait for a few minutes. Send her in with a note and something that they can write back with, and then have her. Does she take her stuff with her?
I don't. Well, they took their stuff with them.
No, I'm saying, but if you dismiss her.
Oh, no, I don't think she'd bring it back. She'd be able to bring it back.
But they can, like, talk to her, and she can repeat. She can repeat what she hears.
She could tell me.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, feed her to the gem.
Okay. I'm not going to feed her to the gem. I'm just going to ask her to visit the gem, and maybe you can see if she left them up.
And Kath, give me Arcana checks, or as close to as you can.
Okay, but I'm thinking, like, if we don't want this thing to jostle, we could put it in the containment flower.
The evil flower? You want to put our shiny new cleric in the evil flower?
A, you still have the evil flower? And 2, you have it with you?
10. And no, it's in the Vardo. I don't think we took the Vardo. Did we take the Vardo? I don't remember.
I don't think you did. Yes, the flower pot re-showed up. Like, you guys ditched it, but
but Deneen did not know this until now.
Okay.
Deneen is horrified because she hates that flower.
I still have it. It showed up on my porch, so I put it back where it was because clearly it wants to stay with me. If you let something go and it comes back to you, it will leave.
Like your jar of eyeballs.
Yes!
From the hags.
Yes, they're next to each other. They're on my containment shelf.
They can be friends. I got a 22, Dave.
Okay, so while everything you said about, conjuring familiars and whatnot is actually accurate, there are certain circumstances that might bar that. Like if the gem isn't actually considered on this plane. Inside the gem, anyway.
Right. So she wouldn't be able to call her back.
I think you should keep
I'm debating whether or not Kath would share that.
Because if you don't have wisdom, none of us are going to have any.
Well, you have an hour. You have an hour to decide an hour and 10 minutes to decide whether or not you're gonna share that, because Deneen's working on recreating an owl from scratch with magic.
Is that how long it takes? An hour?
Yeah, and the whole process is like she's basically building an owl out of like sticks and leaves and stuff. And so she's like,
well.
Adding leaves like feathers. It's very complicated. She's focused.
As Deneen is doing this, I'm going to build a cook fire because we're going to have 11sies. I don't know what else to do.
That sounds great.
I will share that information, but I'm all for taking a rest because I got the snot kicked out of me and I'm seriously hurting, and our shiny new cleric is trapped in the emerald. So I'm gonna spend some hit dice.
Yes.
At least you had your nice new armor, Kath, huh? Yeah.
That's true. I probably would have been paced without it.
I still have some spell slots left if need be. Also.
Oh, I just got a crit success on my hit dice.
Oh, that's good.
I'd hang on to your spell slots for now.
Okay.
Especially without Agnetha here to be her local meat-filled self.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
That means it's Kenna's job now, as is tradition.
Well,
no, it's
Kat
not.
has armor, and she's here.
I know, I'm kidding. You know I don't want you repeatedly nearly murdered.
I don't mind doing it.
I mean, I don't want you to be repeatedly nearly murdered either, Kath. Don't get me wrong. But it's less likely to happen to you. Kenna's crunchier.
Hmm.
That is true. She is smaller.
It's because of the cake.
What cake?
She's like a cupcake. She's like a bard made of cake.
I mean, like halfling problems. We just kind of put on weight and it doesn't go anywhere.
Gnomes can be like that too. So I feel you.
Oh,
are you going to be? Kath already told us, right?
Oh, did she?
Nope.
No. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Kenna's giving you a weird look right now.
Did you like grow up with gnomes or something, Kath? Because Gnomish and Sparks kind of drives you crazy, and
you know an awful lot about mechanisms and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I've always wondered about that.
I grew up with gnomes, yes.
But were they like pirate gnomes? Like, how does this intersect?
Oh no! See, I obviously am a very talented engineer.
Of course.
And I was working in this shop, and fucking Simon lost Azucena's stuff, like her navigation tools and compass and her telescope and everything in a card game. So she came in to buy replacements, and that's how I met Zuzu. And so that's how I got into piracy. But before that, no, I lived in a port city all of my life before that with other gnomes, because I used to be a gnome before I died the first time.
You did mention the whole dying and coming back thing.
Yeah.
You used to be a gnome.
Yeah.
So you were somebody else before.
No, I was always me. I was just packaged differently, which is why I'm a tiefling and as old as I am and not dead.
Okay, but do you identify as a gnome or as a tiefling? Because that matters.
I try not to think about that too much, or else I get really, really angry.
Okay.
So you don't want to be a tiefling?
No, I'd really rather not. I'd like to have my old lifespan back.
Okay, well, we'll figure out how to fix that then.
Well, how'd they fix it the first time? Can't they just fix it back?
Well, if I die and someone brings me back with reincarnate, there's always a chance that I'll come back as myself. Well, I don't even know that I'd look like myself, but I could come back as anything depending on that. But what I'd really like is to find someone who could polymorph me back, but I haven't found that individual yet.
Well, reincarnate, that's like heavy duty holy magic, right?
Yeah, Claire, well, I really wanted to have this conversation with our shiny new cleric who's currently stuck in the gem, but no, clerics can do it, I think, but I got druids can do it as well.
Well, whoever did it the first time, are they around?
I've run into her a couple times since, but she gets weird but she got all weird when I was like, well, just kill me and try again and see what I come back as. She's really touchy about that.
Oh.
Because she's not
I was going to suggest that, but
she's not powerful enough to do polymorph. But, she's all weird. And it's really her fault, her and her friend's fault that I died in the first place because they lied. But no, that's not worth killing me and me bringing me back again.
Just for reference, you weren't killed by like a dragon turtle in the river or anything like that, right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Resurrecting people is expensive. I mean, it really rack up some money to do it over and over again. And I know that the merchant in you doesn't think that's a feasible idea. We'll just start doing research on polymorph and figure out how to do it. I mean, we do everything else.
Do we know anybody that got turned other than you that got turned from one thing into another thing? Just the forest guardian.
Oh yeah, but he died. Oh, so did she. But he's still dead.
Oh.
Kind of.
I don't know. I'm out.
His story was a little tragic too, so.
Yeah.
I know, I love it.
It sounds like he's better off now. Or in a better place anyway, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right, so meanwhile, as she's saying this, Janine is still laboriously sticking leaves to her little model of an owl using sap and stuff.
Oh, so when she summons wisdom, she literally sculpts a new owl?
Yeah. Well, it's the same owl.
I passed out mozzarella sticks.
It's a nature thing.
So
I had to catch her the first time, but now I can just. I know it's weird. So, do you think we're at the end of the hour?
Yeah, you can be.
So when she finishes, she says, "What do you think? Does it look like her?"
It looks enough like her. I think you've got a good sympathetic connection to call her back at least.
Okay, great. And then she looks at this thing that she's worked on for an hour, like a little bit sadly, and tosses it into the campfire. But then there's an owl, and she goes, flutters over to Janine. And Janine's like, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you," and gives her kisses. My good girl, I'm so sorry. You did such a good job. And then says, "All right, note."
Oh, I mentioned it, but just because I said I mentioned it, but he's risky to attempt what you're doing. Just FYI, I'm not sure.
Like and she glances at Wisdom, like in a way that would be risky, because she her risk levels are she's very brave as a holy owl.
I just don't know if you'll be able to dismiss her once she's inside, or if she'll be able to get in there. So if she gets in there, she might be in there until we figure out how to get everything that's in there out of there.
Like I might have to remake her and call her back again.
No, like you might not be able to unmake her to remake her.
Oh.
Maybe.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about this gem. It's just it could be weird, and I feel like I should be honest. So
while you guys are talking, Kenna's got a piece of paper out and is writing a note, and then she adds P.S. Shoot the owl.
Oh man. So Janine says, "Well, how important is it that we get them a note? Maybe they'll just assume that we'll try to save them. Like we can see them, maybe they can see us, like all huge, going like, no, no, no."
Well, I know what to do.
But they could talk to Wisdom and have her relay a message back to us once
I start looking around.
But I might not.
Beetle I can find.
Oh.
You're looking for a beetle?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You search around, and you've been in the wilderness enough. You can find a beetle.
I scratch out, shoot the owl. I tie the note to the beetle, and then I put the beetle on the gem.
Okay, so the what does the note say again? Let's start there.
It's like, "Hey guys, you're in a crystal right now. We're not sure how to get you back, but we're working on it. See you soon. Hearts. XOXO Kenna." And then there's a scratched out, by the way, "Shoot the owl," but they can't read because
it's scratched out.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so you do that. The beetle vanishes with a flash of emerald light.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Because I was gonna say, even if she got stuck in there, I could call her back, but it wouldn't. it would be tomorrow, and who knows what's going to happen meanwhile. I think we might need her.
Anything is possible.
Your beetle delivery, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know what? I always forget to give it out. Take some inspiration for the beetle delivery and shoot the owl. I'm not sure which deserves more inspiration, to be honest. Probably shoot the owl. Totally
Which
gangster.
Janine conveniently never saw, and Wisdom very conveniently never saw.
Poor Wisdom.
And never will because I scratched it out.
She's a working bird. I'd like to think that she understands. It's a little different of an experience for her. It's not like she dies.
It's true. It might not be pleasant, though.
Well.
So, what is the plan now? You have this gem. You have this rotting muck that the gem was in.
Yeah, I don't want that stuff.
I don't think that'll sell for anything anyway.
Well, what are we going to do now? Do we need to bring this gem back to, like, Jarissa? Are we going to continue on to Father What's-His-Bucket? Relian?
How far along the road are we anyway?
I think you guys were like halfway there when you encountered the creature.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I had totally forgotten where you guys were going because there was like 4 different destinations that you were thinking about going. All equally viable.
Could have sworn we said last time that we were going back to the Feywild because I remember that there was a out of game character thing that happened because of it in my headcanon.
It's definitely on the to-do list, but I don't think that's where we were going now.
And I also feel like Deneen is very hesitant to go back to the Feywild.
Yeah, she's torn because she wants to resolve this thing.
Oh, well,
but at the same time, she knows she could potentially be stuck there for some indeterminate amount of time to resolve it. And we also don't have a plan other than find this thing and kill it.
Well, yeah.
And then out of character, what I told Dave was, this sounds like a pretty big thing. So tell me if you think it's time. And then I'll push for it more.
Oh, I don't even remember that message and didn't respond to it, I don't think. But as your GM, it's not my job to worry about such things. I thought actually you were more concerned about going to the Feywild and being there for too long and, Fane growing up and stuff like that.
Well, that's a concern, but at some point she's assuming they're going to have to do that. But at this point, there's no, and she could talk to you guys about this in character, at this point, I have no action plan for how to deal with this Archfey, other than my usual action plan, which is stab and or shoot it until it stops doing the thing I don't like.
Yeah.
So we could go to the Feywild for a big confrontation, but I feel like I don't even know what... I have only the barest information. We just got this letter. I haven't even cross-checked it with all the notes that I got from Carshapathium yet. I mean, sooner or later, if we have to go there, I will. If it means I miss years of my kid's life, I will. Because it means my kid, and hopefully also my husband, are going to live through all this. So it would be unfortunate, but if it's necessary, it is, and I would hope that they understand that. I guess I'll have that conversation with them at some point. But the point is, I don't have a plan yet. I haven't heard a plan. I don't know what to do with that yet. Do you have ideas?
Yeah, well, I would not like to go back to the Feywild anytime soon because I got in trouble. So for that,
with Zuzu.
So did I.
Yeah, she was not happy. So
and then we took off again right away.
Yeah. Okay, the I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed face that Lalamage has, and no, it wasn't even disappointed face. It was the I thought you were dead face. I can't. Not so soon.
Yeah.
I'm not recommending that we run off there right away. We'd need an actual plan. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not necessarily expecting it to be super soon. I don't have a plan. I know it's important. I mean, it's certainly important to me anyway, but I'm not going to drag you all into potential danger and time jumps without it being very clearly necessary.
Well, we know it's going to happen this time, so we know to make the plans to let them know that it's going to happen this time. So we'll just, we'll make the plan, and then we'll go and do it. And, make sure everybody knows that it's going to be longer than we thought.
Well, Finnelis is the one that seemed the most aware of the time difference, and he's the one that really warned us, like, hey, so maybe he'll know something like if there's a way to control it or minimize it, or maybe I could ask him about this winter tree.
Actually, that's actually a good idea. Perhaps there is a way that you can circumnavigate those effects.
I don't know.
That would be preferable.
I mean, Vance has some, most of the notes that we took in Carshapathium. So I might have to talk to him about it at some point too. Like, we were just grabbing as much information as we could at the time, but now I can put it together with what we got from this letter.
I envision a corkboard with push pins and colored string in your future.
It's a full wall of crazy with like little sketches of trees pinned up with a big question mark,
pixies and stuff.
Little drawings of her husband and kid and her father-in-law with like mean eyebrows.
Kath sneaks in at some point and draws like little dick butts here and there.
I feel like someone's channeling their inner jester.
Tiefling thing, clearly.
So you have wisdom in your possession. You have this heart-shaped giant emerald, probably worth a fortune.
Let's sell it and forget we ever met them. No, obviously not.
Man, we are running like really high on the chaos rating today.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Besides,
it's good to run the chaos and rev it high. Gets the gunk out of the works.
The chaos spectrum.
So at this point, we're missing 2 people. Are we still going where we were originally going? What do you guys want to do?
Well,
I could just catch Rillian when he gets home, honestly.
Well, and Haley wanted to meet him, but she's stuck in a rock.
Yeah.
Maybe he can help us get her out of the rock?
At least she's stuck in a really big rock.
Maybe it's bigger on the inside like the column was. I mean, it must be. There's people in there. Unless they're real tiny.
They do look tiny.
They do. I don't know.
But then again, and also, Kath has the eye of Minute Sing as well to assist.
Right.
Oh, we should have put on the paper that they could have like written and like held it up against the wall for me to read.
You think
I could find another
Agnetha has paper?
I'll help. Well, we'll tie a bit of charcoal to the next beetle as well.
And they could write it on the back.
Yeah. I go find another bug.
It's going to turn out there's a holding capacity for this gem and it explodes after you reach it.
No, not our gem.
Well, it's a good thing we're sending small things.
So you're seeking another gem, or I mean another critter to put in the gem, and after looking around for a while, you find something that's like big enough to do such with. And who's dropping it in?
Not
time. It's clumsy tiefling.
Okay, Janine, you want to do it?
Sure.
And what is it? What does the note say? That the whole, to try and here's a piece, or you're not doing a note, you're doing a piece of charcoal, right? With a note, or
like another piece of paper, and it just says "write back" and hold up to wall.
Now watch there not even be any walls in there.
They're just in space.
Well, only one way to find out. So, So we now have this note tied to another hapless little bug. And Denny carefully lowers it by the paper onto the gem.
So,
and the charcoal tucked in the twine.
Okay. Do one of you ladies have the alertness feat?
No, but I'm very perceptive.
What is your perception?
My passive is 22, and I have blind sense.
Okay.
Which tells me the location of any hidden or invisible creature within 10 feet.
And Kenna's passive is like 20, right? 21? 24?
23.
23. I'll just keep saying numbers. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So you guys are going about your business, doing your thing. And
experimenting on small insects.
Of course. Let's see. That is when Kath was going to feel a slight prick. As a gust of wind kind of goes by, and all at once there's a bunch of air that kind of gets disturbed around you guys. And
Can I wrap this gem up real quick, and like we were originally gonna wrap it and pocket it because something must be happening?
Yeah, there's definitely some things happening.
Okay, I roll it up with my fast hands and put it away.
All right, so I just want to say this is going to hurt you guys more than it's going to hurt me.
Sure.
So, Kath, you just took 6, 7, 25 points of damage as you start bleeding.
Jiminy
well, that escalates quickly.
That was slightly more than a little prick.
Yeah. That is fair enough.
That's like leaf on the wind, little prick.
Fair enough. And let's see, Kenna.
Stop rolling.
Does a 17 hit?
I actually have to check. No, it does not.
Okay, 18?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder how banged up you guys are from last time.
Well, we did use hit dice.
Yes, she's did. Kenna takes 24.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna smart. Does a 16 hit Deneen?
No.
Okay.
But it'll certainly hit wisdom.
Swole AC party. Oh, don't do that. Don't tell him that.
I have to. I'm assuming she's on the hit list.
Not quite yet. It's just low on the list. So you take 28. Oh wait. Do you want to use your reaction?
Yeah. Sure. Is there anything dexterous involved here, or do I just use my evasion or uncanny dodge?
It would just be uncanny dodge.
Yeah, I'll cut that in half.
All right, then we're gonna cut one of these in half. So that is going to be. All right, so yeah, you just take the 9 instead of the full for your evasion. And like I said, there is just a complete and utter disturbance of air around you ladies. And it actually doesn't stop quite there.
And we don't see what this is at all?
No, just there's just a blur of motion.
What kind of damage is it? Piercing damage?
Yes, slashing.
And nothing came within 10 feet of me while it happened?
So, you have blind sight.
Yeah. So, any hidden or invisible creatures within 10 feet?
You can detect it, right?
Yeah.
So,
maybe it was just there briefly?
It was there very briefly.
Okay.
Small humanoid form.
Oh, is it like that thing that my father-in-law attacked us with?
It is very much... it seems very similar to that, yes.
Could I have gotten off by Hellish Rebuke?
Yes, that's just a reaction. You can use that.
All right.
I have True Seeing as a spell, but I used that spell slot last time.
Oh, well.
Oh, I still have my level 7, though. I could just cast it at a higher level, couldn't I?
Yes, you can always do that.
Okay. I will pin that as a thing.
So it makes a DC 17 Dex save.
Okay, DC 17 Dex save. That is going to be... yeah, your fire lances out to a spot, igniting the ground, and that's all you see.
Well, it takes half damage on a successful save.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 points.
Okay. You, like I said, it looks like it just hit a spot on the ground.
Okay. Kath does like a little skip jump and grabs her tail and goes, ouch!
Janine is going to immediately start digging that monocle out so she can put it on. And Wisdom, she tells her to fly higher because this thing is, as far as she knows, on the ground.
Okay. Makes sense.
But we have nothing to attack. Oh, this isn't good.
So, I guess
Do you think it's with the dragon, or do you think it's from my father-in-law?
We will drop into initiative.
Ah!
Sacre bleu.
21.
14.
Oh.
11.
Okay, I feel a little better now.
I'm glad I could do that for you, Jen.
I appreciate it.
All right, so give me, let's see. Okay, so all three of you have encountered what you believe to be this creature before, and you don't think that not being able to see it is a function of magic per se. Like you don't think they're invisible.
They're just so fast.
They're just so fast that you can't track them.
That is fair.
But who knows what else is here? So having the monocle hopefully can't hurt.
Yeah, I just wanted you guys to know so Kenna doesn't cast a spell needlessly.
I appreciate it. You were too kind to me.
No, it's something your character would probably know. So, what are you doing? You hear giggling off in the distance from behind shrubs and bushes and trees.
Well,
Do you have to be able to see something to land a spell on it?
It depends on the wording of the spell. If it's an area of effect, you just have to put it in the area they're at. But if you actually have to be able to have a target, then you do need to see them.
Yeah, sometimes it'll say a creature you can see.
before I start evening for a little bit, are you guys going to be okay if I poof?
Yeah.
I'll be all right for a bit.
Greater invisibility to start with. So that's what I do.
Okay.
I will stick near Kath because she's my my sneak attack buddy, and pull my daggers out and ready in action to attack it when it runs by, if I can.
Bless.
And okay, I pull out my daggers, but I also bless us before Kenna leaves. How about that?
Thank you.
You're blessed. Dear boss, as usual, our lives are full of trouble. Please help us not die so hard. Hugs and kisses, Janine. Okay.
Okay, let's see. All right, so you're in the act of casting bless and greater invisibility. When you hear the giggling coming straight towards you.
Great. We really don't want to have to kill you as it approaches.
Well, that's really nice of you.
We usually don't. Can I Sylvan persuade this thing to go away?
Sylvan persuade.
Yeah. like
what kind of ability is Sylvan persuade?
I'm using Sylvan and trying to persuade this thing. I'm saying I don't know what it is you guys think I took. We could talk about this. Come on. Doesn't have to get violent.
In Sylvan, interesting. Give me a persuasion check.
23.
A 23. It's at this point that Kath, you realize there's like these like lines of dust clouds that were heading right towards you, and they kind of like peel off, back out of range and out of sight, and you every once in a while you hear like it almost sounds like a giant centipede like running. Just beyond your sight for all of you. And you hear the giggling and tittering once again.
I cast darkness.
What do you have to offer? You hear little giggly voices kind of almost drift to you on the wind.
I have some really good honey candy.
We just ate. We've got leftovers.
She insults us.
I don't have anything that they would want.
Now let's not negotiate with terrorists. We got this.
Okay. We'll kill you if you have to.
Okay, so darkness cloud.
Yeah.
Oh, and you okay. So and that's what you say, Kenna. Let's not negotiate with terrorists.
Yes.
And then kill. Okay, perfect. So
if they did have demands, I was hoping to hear them. That doesn't mean we would necessarily give them what they want.
Okay.
If they're just here to mess with us, then we're gonna have to mess with them back.
All right. Move you out of the way. All right, Kenna. So, does a... What's your armor class again? I'll start there.
18.
18. So that's going to miss.
She's invisible too.
Yes, she is. That's a good thing.
I think, actually, let me recheck that really fast because I'm not sure if... I know one of the brooches isn't attuned to me anymore, so it might be 17.
Hmm.
And I didn't think about that before, and I apologize.
No worries.
Yeah, it's 17. I was wrong.
Okay, then. 4, 5, 6, 7. A storm of pebbles come flying in your direction.
Oh, good.
And you get hit by 9 of them. And
good.
2 of them are crits.
Oh, good.
On the plus side, pebbles don't do as much as the things they were poking you with before.
Is invisibility concentration?
Yes,
yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to make 9 rolls.
Good. Okay, I'm probably gonna fail one of those. But...
yeah. Thank you.
I'm not.
So that's 9, and that would be the crits. Ooh, actually, that hurts. That's a lot of pebbles.
My lowest one was a 10, so I'm pretty sure I'm visible again.
10 passes.
10. Yeah, 10 is going to pass. It's half damage or DC 10. So you will be invisible if you are still conscious.
Well, we'll see about that.
So, they're pebbles, so they don't do nearly as much. So 6, 16. So that is a total of 60 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm up, but barely.
As a hailstorm of stones just come flying in your direction, as if they were thrown by like a hurricane.
Here's a question. If my blood leaves my body and spatters on the ground, is it still invisible?
Well, they can tell what square you're in unless you're being stealthy anyway.
I know, I was joking for the effect.
Yeah.
Spatter on the ground.
But in this case, it doesn't matter as much because it's bludgeoning damage.
Oh, okay, I'm just going to be bruised black and blue. That's good.
Everywhere.
You put the blood in bludgeoning.
So what do you guys want to do?
Change my mind to negotiate with terrorists.
So are we in an area, were there like trees around us?
Yes, you're in a lightly wooded area.
So I cast the darkness cloud, and then I'm going to grab Deneen and dimension door up into the trees.
Ooh.
And hopefully they won't realize that we haven't left the darkness circle, and they'll keep zipping through there looking for us.
Oh, okay. So you do that and give me stealth checks with advantage.
Can I help her? Can I help her stealth?
Please let her help me.
Well, yeah, well, you have advantage.
And you're blessed too, so.
Okay.
But that's only saving throws and attack rolls, right?
Oh, drat. I forgot.
Even better. Where is the stealth button? There it is.
It's the bottom.
Oh, it's a really good thing I had advantage. 17.
Excellent. So.
And I got, well, my passive is 26, so.
Yeah, you're fine. So, from up in the trees, what you kind of see is just this blur of motion, like kind of like running laps, in a wide swath around the area where you guys were. Probably a good like a 50-foot circle.
So there's no way to like pinpoint the target exactly.
Basically, it's almost like you're seeing after images or dust clouds of these guys.
So there's more than one?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's go hide inside the emerald.
No.
I don't know.
That is an option. I didn't think of that option, but that is an option.
But then we'd be ditching Kenna, which is not cool. Wait, I could give the emerald to... Oh no, then Wisdom would be stuck in there too. No, if we wrapped it up with a cloth, we could go in the emerald and Wisdom could fly us back to Jarissa.
It is already wrapped up in a handkerchief.
It's true.
Yeah. No, Kath.
It's just an idea. It's just an idea.
It's a bad idea.
Okay.
It's the worst idea.
No, the worst idea. Never mind. Shh.
The worst idea was fighting these things. It's okay. You can say it.
The worst idea is getting pelted to death by angry halflings on crack.
If Ken is invisible, can she still sneak away from where she last was, and they won't know where
I'll be
she
fine.
is?
Don't worry about me. Do what you need to do.
Okay.
So she can be invisible in the darkness.
I mean, I think Kath is just gonna hang out and hope that they either slow down or go away after a while. If they can't find us and they can't hit us and they don't know where we are, because what else can we do? We can't hit them if they don't stop. But I do have banishment prepped, and if those little stinkers pause long enough, they're getting booted from this plane.
I could. I can't do anything if I can't see him.
Right. So Kath. Well, that's not entirely true. You can make attacks. It's just disadvantage, but it may give up your location, or at least give them an idea.
Well, as long as we're hidden and not doing anything else, I'm going to prep an action to attack one if it runs up to us, under the hope that my stealthiness helps us. But I don't know.
Aren't you hidden though as a rogue? Don't you get sneak attack and then you bonus action hide again?
Let me leave you here. I'll climb off into the trees, hide, shoot, and maybe then I'll be able to pick them off.
Ninja squirrel style.
How about it?
Okay.
Okay. That is what I'm going to do.
But if you're about to die, scream really loud so I know where to find your body and pick you back up.
Noted.
Are you moving half speed?
I could for advantage on stealth, but even without advantage, my lowest possible stealth is 26.
Okay.
And my climb speed is the same as my movement. So I could go 35 feet.
Oh, you've got second story work. Right?
Yeah.
Gibbon.
It's an advantage. It's definitely an advantage.
Okay, so yeah, you can do that easily. So slinking,
like a squirrel going through the trees.
Okay, so you do that. You can make attacks you can see enough to kind of guess, but it's just they would be.
She'll watch how the smoke is moving and then lead it a little more and shoot right there.
It would be at disadvantage, but you're hidden, so it's an advantage. So
right,
it's a net.
Now, can I? It's risky, but I would prefer to have the advantage so that I get sneak attack. So can I coordinate this with wisdom using my telepathy and have her swoop in at just the right moment and then I shoot?
You can attempt that, yes.
Okay, I am attempting that. So that's 22 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that absolutely hits.
For 38 piercing damage. And
yes,
then wisdom swoops back away again.
So you decapitate one.
Excellent.
And
then I go hide again because I'd rather not have their attention.
That makes sense. And two daggers whip out flying through the air at Wisdom. So Wisdom is banished.
But Wisdom doesn't take opportunity attacks.
No, it was not an attack of opportunity.
Nah. Sorry, bud. It was worth it.
Totally
right, I'm just going to have to shoot the regular way then.
Totally got angeled through the wings.
And just pick them off. The slow way. But with added determination, because now I'm pissed off that they killed Wisdom.
Now you're angry.
I just rebuilt her. She doesn't like that.
That's such a bomb. I just cleaned up this mess and now it's awful again.
Yeah. That just means you should be used to it. So what is Kenna doing? And you just actually you're in the darkness. But Kath, you just see one of these things get decapitated. Its little head, goes rolling away from its body.
I smother my giggles.
All right. So, I'm gonna like just let out, guys, I need to see you. And then attempt to blink because I can't take any more damage, but I'll be back like real soon anyway. So, like, let's hope that yes, 18. I'm on the ethereal plane.
Nice. So, so you hear a slight popping sound from the darkness. You look over past the body of this small humanoid, about 18 inches tall. It actually reminds you of one of the pixies from the Grove, only bigger and better dressed, I guess I would say. Except for like there's something like kind of dark and sinister about it. It's got like the really overly pointed ears on his head that's like laying several feet away from where his little body was, and you see their gleaming little swords, but they would be daggers to anyone else. They have several of them.
So she can see them on the ethereal plane, or that's what we see with the corpse?
That's what you guys see with the corpse.
Okay. But I can see her on the ethereal plane. Oh, and on our plane, come to think of it. Right?
You have the...
Oh, yes.
the thing.
So at least I know she's still alive. This is good. This is very good.
Yes, I guess only in the darkness you wouldn't have been able to see her. So, what you see now is like you just see the darkness almost like get briefly disturbed as they begin like zigzagging through it, like they seem to be looking around.
So for my next attack, I'm going to preferentially attack whatever is near where Kenna will be if she comes back.
Okay, you can do that. Well, although as fast as they're moving, and you think they're actually faster than the one you encountered in the mansion.
Uh-oh.
Significantly faster.
That's not good.
So like it's almost a moot point.
That's true. The ones in the mansion we could fight using a more conventional approach. These guys, not so much. Well, I'll just pick off whichever one I can then.
Can I use thaumaturgy to make the ground shake to see if I can like trip them up and cause them to stumble?
You can try that, sure.
All right. So that's what I'm doing on my turn.
Okay.
What ends?
What's our order again?
Whose line is it anyway?
Kenna blinked.
Kenna, you, me.
Okay, so let me shoot. Cool. 30 to hit.
Ooh.
For 9 damage.
30 to hit for 9 damage. Okay.
And then I scare away and hide again.
You literally take the arm off of one of them. And his little arm goes flying with the blade in it. And,
excellent.
But he's still running. So there's this like streak of blood that's like trailing behind them.
So after she shoots, but before she skitters away and hides, she says in Sylvan, "Don't say we didn't warn you. You can still go out of this and be alive and leave."
And it like shrieks. It shrieks. This like really high pitched, really fast sentence of a string of words. And you think it's cursing in Sylvan, but he's speaking, or she is speaking so fast, it is hard to tell. And then all the activity that's been going on just kind of stops.
I'm suspicious.
I really don't trust this. You guys need to get where I can see you.
But if you can see us, then so can they.
Yes.
Well, you saw Deneen real quickly. Oh no, you're in the ethereal plane.
Yep.
Okay, but I see you. But you don't know.
She might know. I mean, because...
Oh, that's true. We probably talked about it after the boat. But either way, Deneen doesn't know that you need to see her. And then...
No, I shouted it before I blinked out.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I said, "Guys, I need to see you," and then I blinked out.
Oh.
Out of character, why do you need to see us?
Because my plan is that if I can see you, I can cast teleport and send us back to Gryphongaffe, and we can just not have to deal with this entire problem.
Oh.
But that's my only 7th level spell. I can't true seeing because I used my 6th level spell slot. Like, this is like, I have to save that spell slot or we're screwed.
Okay. So I guess
if Denise sneaks back over to Kath.
Yeah, Denise will head back over to Kath. What do you think she needs? She needs to see us.
And she told, like, Megan, you told us that before, like, in character,
Yes.
right?
Yes, like I shouted it before I blinked it.
Okay.
Maybe it's like a magic thing that she can do?
It must be. She's on the ethereal plane now, but how about let's get ready. When she comes back, we'll break cover and wave at her.
Maybe she's waiting for us. Maybe she's waiting to see us before she comes back.
She can't see us from the ethereal plane, I don't think. I don't know.
And she's probably going to reappear invisible and in the darkness.
She can't cast on us until she gets back here. And she has to see us, but she's invisible and I can see when she does that. So just wait for me, okay?
How big is the cloud of darkness?
15 feet.
15 feet.
Oh, you can appear out of it.
As long as I point into the right direction, I'll blink out of it. So.
Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking 20 feet, but yes.
She's stuck in your dark right now.
Should I get rid of the cloud?
I guess so.
I dismiss the cloud. And I send a thaumaturgic gust of wind to like blow through it and make it dissipate.
That's really cool.
Well, with like a little bit of like ominous noises and things like that. So maybe these things will think that we just left.
So there's nothing else seems to be going on.
Okay. So then we're just waiting for Kenna to reappear.
Okay, well in that case,
I'll go down because I'll probably survive if they land another hit or two. And if not, you heal me.
Yeah, I can do that.
Like, okay, all right. So Kath will like she does this thing where like she sticks her tail out of the tree and she like swings her tail around to see if anything jumps out and bites it.
Excellent. Nothing bites the tail.
Okay, then she will I should probably make a dexterity check for this. She'll try and scrabble out of the tree.
Can I help you down?
Oh, I got a 15 all on my own. Wow. That's amazing. So yeah, I do not
looks genuinely impressed up in the tree.
Kath looks amazed at herself. And then she'll walk out a little bit. But she's got, you know, her maul ready.
So yeah, you come out of the tree and you kind of looking around and there's the corpse and the head and there's a single tiny arm laying off to the side.
I pick up the blade.
Yeah, it's just a dagger in your hands, really like almost like a stiletto.
Okay.
I guess all right. So then it's Kenna's turn.
Okay, can I see you?
Well, Deneen is hoping Kenna comes back, but since Kath is out there and safe, Deneen's going to follow her then.
All right.
So
well,
she puts down out of the tree.
I don't really have a choice at this point. So, but the second I can see both of you, I'm going to cast teleport and take us home. And when I say home, I mean my home. We're going to end up in the middle of the halfling compound.
We aren't all cramped in the Vardo.
Because I have things from home, so I know we're not going to end up somewhere I didn't mean to go.
We get there and one of like your little cousins is snooping through your stuff and we land on a pile on top of them.
Elbow deep in the evil flower.
Oh no.
What did I tell you about playing with the eyeballs?
I thought it might be cookies.
Oh man. So, all right. So that's what you're doing. As soon as you reappear, you're gonna cast teleport on the three of you.
Oh, yes.
So you cast teleport and you reappear in the center of the halfling village amongst a bunch of surprised halflings.
Ah!
And I'm like bruised all over, and I just kind of like fall to my knees. And I'm like,
well, you're all bleeding.
yeah. Why do we keep
It looks like you lost a fight with a paper golem.
I hate those things.
As usual, Deneen has like hit point survivor guilt because like you guys are heavily injured and she's like a little injured.
gonna start cure wounding myself at level 4?
I
one of
dumped
them looks
35
worse?
points into you for lay on hands.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, no, I'll dump 40.
I still need to heal myself. That's how bad it was.
We could just take a break.
You are in town. What could possibly go wrong here?
Right. Plenty of things. That's what.
So,
Well, that didn't go well.
No.
What do they think I took from the Feywild? What could it possibly be? All I took was letters, information.
It's your
The
fancy dress.
pins.
And your
bought
fancy
that.
dress.
I bought that though. Who could care about a fancy dress? Maybe it's
I'm lying
Finnelis.
on the ground.
Maybe it is Finnelis.
Pins are per.
That was a gift. The pins were a gift. I bought the dress.
People really like Finnelis. It's possible that's what they were talking about. Ow.
But Deneen didn't take him. I mean, if
I
anyone
did
took
take-
him,
I did
It was
take
you,
information though. Maybe that's the. I don't know.
maybe it's your bow. And even though the bow was out of the Feywild before, maybe it going into the Feywild and coming back out triggered like some kind of awareness of it.
So you guys have a crowd gathered around you, of familiar halfling faces,
As we're bleeding.
Yeah, we're like laying there.
and one satyr.
Finnelis, we were just talking about you.
Hi.
Madams, what has happened? What has occurred? You look a little less well
Spry?
for the wear.
little zippity doodah things of death. That were
Zippity stab
everywhere.
Finnelis, the Feywild is mad at me. Apparently I took something. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Was it you?
Well, they said it was me.
Was like a green.
No,
plant
I'm
monster
asking
dragon
if it was him. I'm asking.
become
Yeah,
a-
But if it
Oh.
was him, they'd be mad at you, Kenna.
maybe.
You took him.
Maybe.
While I'm a great treasure to any land that I dwell in, I don't believe it's me that has caused quite the stir. Well, what did you take with you from the Feywild?
I bought a dress.
all these pins.
All three of us were given gifts. But me specifically, I bought a dress and I visited a temple and I came back with 2 letters that our host gave me.
I really hope they're not looking for the pipeweed because that's long gone by now.
I didn't take that though. It's something I did.
Well, did we like scrap anything weird from the hag's hut? I know we got a bunch of loot from there.
Kenna took a bunch of stuff from there. I didn't want to take anything. There's not that many things that I took.
You know,
If it's a thing.
the brooches you all have.
Right.
Both of you had, at least 2 of you had purchased clothing, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah. So it's got to be the letters, I guess. But Finnelis, do you think that when they talk about me taking something that this dragon was trying to take back somehow, that it could be information? I mean, that seems a little odd.
It
It is
could be.
kind
There
of
are
fey-ish.
many factions and forces, in the Feywild, just as there are here, and they
Well,
all have their own agendas. Who are the letters for, and what are they about?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I would
know.
actually.
One of them is
And if you tell me, I'm probably going to put it in a song or a poem.
One of them is just information for me that I requested. And the other one is a letter that I need to eventually deliver to Carshapathium.
One of them is pretty much already a song. Like, to be honest.
It's true. It's very fancy.
To the new land. I don't know. The ways have been severed for a long time.
Do you know why they were severed? Is it better that they're severed? Like, is there any concern there if they're reconnected? For would it put our plane or people in danger that you know of?
The Eladrin scholars have pondered this for a while because they used to freely travel back and forth between this place and the Feywild. But they say one day the ways were closed. They cannot breach the barriers anymore. And to enact such a great magic would take a monumentous amount of power, that beyond mortal ken, and even the Fey courts themselves would not be capable of such.
Well, that's ominous. And I really want to know
what do you know anything about House Starleaf? Have you ever heard of this?
That name is an old one. And he pulls out a stick. It almost looks like almost like a wand, or even like a conductor's rod, and begins drawing in the dirt. And then he draws a tree with many branches, and on those branches, he's actually pretty good at this considering he's drawing in the dirt. But he begins drawing leaves shaped like stars, and then some of them falling away.
I'm gonna pull out my notebook and copy that over.
All of the houses have came from the same line. This is a star tree. It is a much fancier name in Sylvan or Elven, but for simplicity's sake, it loosely translates to star tree, and all the great houses were of this at one time or another. Some have slipped through to this world, or that. Others still remain in the Feywild. Some, have sided with the Seelie, and others the Unseelie. Summer and winter courts, if you would. But they all share a commonality, and those of the truest blood all still claim the star in their name someplace. So if they are truly of that descendants of this line, it is an old one.
So names with star in the name, like Starleaf or Winter Star, for example, things like that.
Yes.
So not just Eladrin, then elves too.
Well, yes. Originally they were all of the same line. It's thinned over time, and the Eladrin consider themselves the nobility of the elves, and the most connected to the Feywild. The most,
but at least some of them might have been diluted to the point of elvishness.
Yes, high elves, and he shudders a little bit. Wood elves.
I understand.
Get there.
We're a little more homey than the high and mighty elves. I understand.
I just exhaustedly lean over on Fenelus and shake my head. My brain itches.
I apologize, madams. I was in storyteller mode. I don't share the same views of the elves.
I get it. I'm trying to understand. You're trying to explain the attitudes of the Eladrin in terms of how they see the rankings. I understand it, and I appreciate the information. Thank you very much. And
you definitely saw a bit of that when you traveled to Carshapathian, especially even with the high elves and the wood elves.
And then Deneen ended up having to basically take advantage of that, using her disguise for information. So, yeah. All right. We're going to have to... Oh, should I even tell him?
You might as well.
He's one of the only Fae we know. Fenelus, we're surrounded by concerned halflings right now, but I would like to have more of a conversation with... We would like to have more of a conversation with you at some point about a problem we're going to have to tackle eventually. Especially because it might involve going back to the Feywild, and we'd rather not lose years while we do so.
Quite the conundrum. And we did just get here.
Oh, yes.
But I'm sure I can shake some of my fans, and we could discuss this at some point. And most of the halflings are female that are hanging around them, with one or two males, as usual.
We wouldn't want to alarm them or give them information that might put them at risk unintentionally. And
although some of them did, many of them did show concern because you guys showed up wounded and bleeding and stuff before the healing started dispensing. But after you seemed okay, they quickly kind of went back to paying attention to Fenelus.
But of course,
some of them are giving Kenna a little bit of the stank eye as well.
She's just too special.
I'm just gonna give them the what are you doing? Look back, like.
It's me, your cousin.
If there's one of them within close proximity to
anybody
Kath,
should be giving the stink eye.
Giving her the stink eye, Kath takes her tail and slaps them upside the head.
Accidentally.
And then she gives them this look like, what? You're gonna what are you gonna do?
And now they're covered with blood.
There was healing. Probably no more bleeding.
Her tail has a bunch of jewelry and stuff on it too.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
There's an indentation.
When you were little, and your dad would take the ring and knock you upside with the ring hand, so you'd stop doing.
No,
my dad never did anything like that.
Yeah,
totally.
You were probably better behaved than I was as a child.
Well, no, but my dad is an extremely nerdy person, so.
Well.
It was either that or my dad liked to throw things.
My mom was the scary one.
He used to wear Chinese slippers, and he would throw them. And they have that 1/4-inch rubber sole on the bottom.
Yeah.
It was the worst when he would throw the lighter at you, because if he threw his lighter at you and missed and broke it, then you were in trouble for breaking his lighter.
We just got little it was usually when we were supposed to be sitting quietly, and we weren't, because my dad's really tall, so I had long arms. So if you were within the reach of the arms, you'd get this little doink up the head with the
ring.
His ring, yeah. So you shut up.
All right, so you guys had different childhoods than us. That's okay.
Yeah.
just a little
random tangent.
So on that interesting note, so when we do get a chance to talk to Fenelus minus hangers on, I'm going to say now, Fenelus, I don't know if you have affiliation with the summer or winter or Seelie or unseelie courts. So I don't want to put you in an awkward position. I
am not the bannerman to either. I am my own fae, and occasionally the Lord of the Wild Hunt will call, but I try to avoid him too if I can. I am much more of a lover than I am a fighter.
Oh, we know.
If only we could all live in this way.
I dib that we're having this conversation in the bathhouse because.
Oh yes. Let's adjourn to the bathhouse. That sounds great.
So, have you guys made the special room yet? The one that's warded against eavesdropping?
We could always go into the
lead line one that we actually did talk about that at one point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the blueprints to begin with. I also have little hidden compartments all over the bathhouse and the actual restrooms and stuff because nobody would think to look there.
In that room, the tiles are have a lead glaze on them. So it's very white, but also lead lined.
Well, I figured maybe the sheet of lead between the tiles and the wall.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever works. Whatever Jerissa said would work.
Except for Sparks' hidden listening devices.
Oh, Kath would murder him.
Yeah.
She would kill him and then heal him back, but he would know that she took his life.
Flashback to this happening. Like, just Kath with, like, the full rage face, and then Sparks, like, I didn't think it would matter. And Kath's just, like, rage face, and then violence.
Turns out he's a transparent plant from Eberron. He's a Zelargo gnome.
I'll show you who speaks Gnomish with an accent.
Oh, man. So we have a scry-proof room. How's that sound?
I figured you guys would have did something like that anyway.
So and then
we could like let it out like in a controlled fashion to certain people that room exists, and if they want to pay a little extra to use it, like.
Well, if nothing else, we could always pop into the pillar because that's in a different plane. So
also
people wouldn't be able to scry there unless they were in that same plane.
Do we still have access to that?
Oh yeah, that's one of the things that Kath worked on was getting, because that's how the bronze ladies come in and out.
Oh, that's where they live?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we go in there to party with them.
So they still have their like gloriously appointed harem room that they live in?
Oh yes.
Oh, I like it. Excellent. Nice and toasty warm. It's like it's like a different kind of sauna. Excellent. Okay. So Finnelis, let me lay this out for you. Someone who matters very much to me is subject to a hereditary curse that appears to be coming down through the Winter Court. And according to my information, it is from a mistress of winter and dark trance, Cryoluna Starglade. I think I'm saying that right. So there's that star thing again. It's like I had a vision about it. It's this like wintry tree with a woman's face. And apparently this, and Deneen reaches back to her bow, is tied into that somehow.
So he kind of cocks his head a little bit and kind of like begins itching behind one of his horns. She
leaves the bow outside the scry-proof room and then gives him this explanation.
Okay.
Let's be extra careful about this, because for all we know, this thing could hear it. Janine is in full paranoia mode here.
So, as he's kind of like digesting, itching around his left horn, he kind of raises an eyebrow. I'm really surprised you're telling me all this. This seems like very
sensitive information.
Confidential, yes, sensitive, confidential.
Yes, it is. But we are telling you because the only way I'm going to be.
You're not going to murder me, are you?
No, we're not going to ask you not to put it in a song, but maybe you could wait until after we've got it taken care of.
I mean, unless you betray Deneen, then we'll murder you.
No,
but,
I'm sure that
we'll murder you so much that we will murder you and bring you back and then murder you a few more times.
Finnelis, I'm sure that won't be necessary, but as the amazing storyteller that you are, you might as well know the origin of this so that when we conclude this matter, you can not only toot your own horn about the glorious place that you had in advising us, but then you will be the first to hear all the details of the tale.
I'm giving you a look, but I'm not saying anything.
So
not mentioning that Kenna is actually my favorite bard. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So
he'll be the first outside this party to hear the details and be able to tell the tale.
He begins kind of like playing with his goatee and stroking his goatee. I am quite honored that you would. And I also envision him speaking with a Spanish accent, but I don't know accent.
Yeah.
It's like Don Juan.
Yeah.
Kenna likes it too.
Oh, it's Phineas Antonio Banderas. Can we make that happen?
Yeah.
I would go for that.
Yes.
He's Fontonio Banderas.
There you go.
Yes, I mention this to you only to give you context because at some point I'm assuming we're going to have to go back to the Feywild and do something about this. And when we do, I'd prefer not to lose years. And you're the person I know with the most expertise on that particular matter.
Unfortunately, there is myth and legend of perhaps certain items that could perhaps protect you from that, from that, maybe even bringing you back to at the same moment you left. But they're powerful artifacts, indeed.
I bet there's a really interesting location that these things are stored. I bet going to retrieve them would involve a really interesting story. I'm listening.
Oh, I agree. I didn't say I know where they are, but it is an excellent idea. But as for this Mistress of Winter, she is known to us. I mean, she's known to all the Fey and the Feywild, the most powerful beings, of course. She is, while she is not quite on par with the Winter Queen herself, but she is very powerful. Direct confrontation probably would not be in your benefit. Perhaps there is another way.
Yes.
Well, I mean, another bargain, another deal, a service grant, maybe a service.
But wouldn't another bargain with the Winter Court inevitably turn out poorly in merely a new and different way?
It's going to make it worse. It's totally going to make it worse. It always makes it worse.
We did just have to deal with hags, and we haven't had real positive experiences with bargains. So that's my concern.
But this might be different. Only in the sense that the person who originally did the bargain has bargained for power.
Right.
And that is why I suggest perhaps maybe a service.
Like maybe there's something she wants more than whatever residuals she's getting from the first deal.
Correct. I mean, these are deific beings.
Well, from what I could tell in the vision, she's very feral and cold, and I don't know what her interests might be in our plane, but there's something about how the person she struck the deal with is staying inside cities for protection, like from the Fae. So I'm actually wondering if that deal is already partially broken, or that he's dodging something that she wants him to do.
Deneen. What if we go capture that person and bring him to the Feywild?
It does sound as if
He does specifically try to stay inside cities, but we haven't had good luck facing off with him in the past.
Yes, but his power base was recently,
Disrupted.
Exploded.
But that was almost 2 years ago. He's probably all set up again. But Kenna, you can teleport now.
Yes.
Couldn't we just yoink him out of there?
Well, here's the thing. If I'm gonna cast teleport, the people I bring with me have to be willing to go.
Are unconscious people willing?
Oh, I was going to say that. And then in my head, I was like, that's a terrible thing to say. But
I said unconscious.
Oh, well,
The other option is to see if dead people are objects. But there's lots of...
unconscious is not consent.
That may be true. Rules as written. I can't remember.
Kenna,
hold on, I have it open.
Kenna, do you have that spell that makes people friendly towards you?
I have command.
Like charm person? No, I don't.
Friends or something.
Friendship. Let me. I don't believe I do, but I will look and make sure.
But
I could try and.
I have mass suggestion. I don't think that's going to help us in this case.
I've command. I could command him to cooperate.
I've got command too.
Okay, I cast Bane on him so that he has less advantage to resist, and then we both command him to cooperate with us, and then we teleport away.
Let's see.
All right,
No,
I don't know where we take him, but
according to Jeremy Crawford, you can't give consent when you're unconscious.
that's very thoughtful. Okay. I approve. Out of character. In character, Danine's like, damn. All right.
So Fenris kind of speaks up. So you're this fellow. He reminds me of a debtor that's only able to pay off his interest.
Oh.
Well, that's why I think there might be something going on with this deal, because according to a source close to the deal maker, he seems to be. It's bad to leave the city for some reason. And considering it's a deal with Fae, who are more nature affiliated, that kind of makes me wonder if there's some kind of problem with the deal already. So you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe we do have an in there. But then either way, that means I have to approach the original, Starglade and find out what the deal is.
I don't care how powerful you say this nemesis of yours is. You would probably be better off facing a half a dozen or more of him than one from the court, one of the nobility of the Fae.
Well, and then she turns to her friends and says, if it comes to having to make a deal, that's my business. You two don't have to.
Oh,
this has nothing to do with you.
Hey, no, because at this point we're kind of family, and I got a thing about that. So yeah, it is. It totally is.
But if you...
It's okay.
If you come with me, you're going to lose time again. And here she looks at Kath, especially.
Well, we're going to get her fixed. So not like that. I mean, we're going to fix your polymorph problem.
That's right, folks. Don't forget to spay and neuter your tieflings.
But like I'm there. It's gonna be fine.
Should we abduct Mr. Summerstar first and try to find out what's going on from him before I go to his?
Oh yes.
His the person who holds his debt.
Oh yes, very much so. Because we're going to need him if she wants him anyway.
It might be better. It might be easier for us to try and keep him asleep with like a potion. Because if we can't teleport with him, if we can keep him knocked out for a few days while we travel.
Are you thinking about putting him in the emerald after we get our friends out of it?
Get the friends out of it.
I see that on your face.
Stuff him in the emerald.
Ooh.
And then we can teleport out with the emerald.
Ooh. Or we don't. Even if we can't teleport with it, we could still just carry it with us. Yes.
And then we don't have to keep him.
Have we checked to see if the emerald came with us in the teleport?
It did.
So she unwraps it real quick. Here it is.
Oh, when you do that, Fenris is like, "Ooh, that's beautiful."
Don't touch it. Touch it.
Oh, and he like, jumps back.
It traps people inside it, and she wraps it up real quick.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't he leave with friends?
Yeah, they're in there. We're not really sure how to get them out yet.
Yeah, we sorry, I got distracted with the whole deal thing. We'll rescue them.
I would really like to maybe get some of those jewel crafting skills out. Like we could put the emerald in a necklace and then give him the necklace and pretend it's from someone else and maybe he'll put it on. Like
he's probably the type that would like
have somebody test
check it for magic.
But if we put it in we can carry it by the silver part and not have to worry about getting stuck in there.
I'll just get a nice pair of gloves.
Yes.
And I'll dart up to him and get him with it.
Yes.
Father-in-law, I choose you.
Jewelry, though.
Well, having a chain on it would keep it easier, make it easier to grab without having to grab it.
Mm-hmm. And I really want to play with my jewel crafting tools.
Okay. Just wear gloves.
I will.
Okay. So, all right. Well, Finilis, this is giving me a lot of good food for thought, and I will cross-reference this with all the information I have from all that research.
So it does sound like you have some, definitely has some things to think about.
We have had a lot of new information lately, so.
And you know, he turns to Kenna and drops to his knees and he like clasps your hands in his and says, "Whatever you do not go with this mad woman to face that creature."
Okay, I promise if we end up doing that, I will tell you first at the very least.
We're not going to try and fight it.
No.
From what you're saying, that's a terrible idea.
It would absolutely be disastrous.
It'll be okay.
Is there a formally accepted way in the Feywild to approach someone with the option of a deal and be able to get away again safely? Like, is there a etiquette for that we need to know about? Of course,
there's etiquettes, and you could go through proper channels. I could certainly arrange that. One of the benefits to having a friend that's not of either court, we're neutral, so we can go between both as long as we follow the rules.
Well, if she's really trying to collect on this, if this debt is really being mishandled, she may have a small finder's fee for you helping to arrange this, Finilis. Who knows?
Perhaps, but I am having the time of my life. I have not been out of the Feywild ever. So, where was it so long ago? It's hard to say. I can hardly remember.
Hey, but if she's as dangerous as you're saying, and that does end up coming to pass, just be really careful, okay?
Oh, don't worry about me. I have survived a long time in the Feywild. Politics of the Fey there is nothing quite like it.
You seem like a seasoned survivor of the Feywild. I'm sure you'll be fine.
But I believe you still have to acquire the package first, as they would say.
That sounds wonderful. and then I could just accidentally shake it like once or twice an hour.
Like a snow globe.
Are you familiar with what a maraca is?
Yes! Oh, that's what we should set it in. Mm-hmm.
Maraca of doom.
But first we need to get our friends out of here. So that's step one.
Yes.
I guess...
Jarissa.
Sounds like a Jarissa business. Finilis, you have been a great help. When we have something to negotiate with, we will definitely be back in touch with you to arrange those negotiations.
Yes, just let me know. I will be lounging about the town, enjoying. It's so odd that I'm able to walk around here and no one gives me a hard time about being different.
Yeah, no, this place is great for that.
And these metal men walking around, have you seen them?
Yes.
They're fantastic. Yes. They have great acoustics, although they do not appreciate that if you use them for percussion instruments. I've learned this the hard way.
I'm surprised Kath hasn't said anything about that.
Said anything about what?
The Warforged. We're talking about the Warforged.
The Clockworks.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted by chat.
Something in the chat.
They were talking about monks, and I love monks, so I was like, monks! So,
but you heard it here, folks. Backup character, clearly a monk.
A monk.
Maybe. So, what about Bucket?
No, Fenris was saying how he's fascinated by these clockwork people, and they have great acoustics. But apparently they do not appreciate it when you use them in that way.
Well, no, because they're people, and people don't like being treated like objects.
They look like objects.
They're
do.
well, they're people.
It
We
would
have
be like
nothing like it in the Feywild. Nothing.
it would be like if you went up to a treant and started chopping off firewood and kindling.
Well,
They
I mean,
wouldn't like
using
that.
them as a percussive instrument isn't really the same thing as cutting off parts. But it
Okay,
would be
if you
chopping
started
wood.
using a treant as a percussive instrument, they might object.
Or like a walking clothesline. You know?
What if you ask permission first?
I will say, most of the time, they will not give it to you first. And you are correct. They also do not like doing that. As a young fawn, I remember that was a game we would play. Thankfully, Trents are very slow to move and even slower to act. And that was a game we would play. You know, who could play the longest tune before being swatted away from the Trent. Now, unfortunately, Varys, my cousin, one time he stayed too long and got swatted too hard. Never been right since. Cross-eyed ever since.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
Yes.
Maybe we should do a calendar.
Well, you know, if you're nicer to the people from the Clockwork Kingdom, and you know, they might share some of their knowledge, or you know, maybe even let you get a glance in the kingdom. It's pretty amazing over there. They can do some really cool stuff. I spent some time studying. It's awesome.
I look forward to incorporating them into some of my tales and fables.
Well,
But,
Finless, you've been very helpful.
I do try.
It's wonderful.
So, this Jarissa fella, or is it a madam?
He seems like a fella.
So, you're off to see. He's going to be able to tell you about this fabulous gem. Will he buy it from you? Oh no, that's right. You wish to put
hopefully
the.
he'll be able to get our friends out of it so that we can stuff Mr. Summerstar into it.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna pick the gem back up, but with like the cloth, and I'm gonna slide my eye, and I'm gonna look for any kind of like the same kind of runes and stuff that Troublemaker. The
Sparks.
Yes, thank you. So you know how like the pillar had all those kind of containment runes and things on it. She's gonna look the gem over to see if there's any runes or indications about the magic on it.
Are you using your monocle?
Yes.
And maybe they
The
wrote us
eye
back.
patch.
Maybe they wrote us back after the second beetle.
Oh yes.
So give me an investigate check.
Investigation. Let's see. Click on the right page. I'm going to spend my inspiration. And that would be 26, sir.
You see the faintest of etching and writing, and it kind of moves along the edges of the facets, and it's just barely darker than the rest of the gemstone, and it's a flowing script, and it is what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Gnomish, Primordial, and I think there's one other. Nope, those three: Common, Gnomish, Primordial.
Right. It seems to be a hybrid of two languages, kind of like intertwined, snaking together. But you do not speak either of them. But you can identify the one as Draconic because you've seen magic before, and that tends to be the language of magic.
Well, we know Jarissa can read it. What's the other language? Do you know?
Well, it was like a fey dragon that we got this out of, so
It
wouldn't
might be
surprise me.
Sylvan.
Don't you have that Sylvan pin thing that you got?
No, I have a pouch of pixie dust that lets you speak Sylvan, and I can hand that to Kath for a minute, but I do want it back when you're done.
I'm not going to use up your dust?
Well, no, it's a passive effect. If you're holding the pouch, then you can speak Sylvan.
Okay, I hold the pouch.
So by holding the pouch, you can identify the other language as Sylvan. It's not something you can read, and you recognize that the two languages are intertwined to form a formula.
Okay.
So while Kenna can't speak Sylvan, Deneen, just to mess with her, starts chatting at her in Sylvan.
So Deneen sounds like an angry squirrel to you right now.
But I understand her.
Yes.
Because I'm holding the pouch.
It's like, Kenna, I bet it's going to drive you totally crazy that I'm speaking to you in Sylvan right now, and you have no idea what I'm saying. This is going to be the best.
I have no idea.
Right, Kath? You get me, right? Uh-huh.
Don't pull me into your shenanigans. I like Kenna more than I like you.
Oh.
I'm on her side.
Oh.
And Deneen pouts and shuts up.
Oh, I was only half serious.
I'm gonna go over there and cuddle her. It's okay.
That's very nice of you, Kenna. I was teasing you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Don't feel bad. It is gonna drive me crazy. What were you talking about?
I was just saying now I'm speaking Sylvan and you don't understand me, and it's gonna drive you crazy. I'm sorry.
I don't believe you.
And Kath said she liked you better than me.
I said that in common because I said I wasn't playing. That's like she answered you back in common, so that so.
And Deneen got the big eyes.
I was joking.
I'm gonna roll deception to look as crushed as possible.
Oh no.
That's a 33.
I feel really bad, and I give you my leftover mozzarella sticks.
And Deneen finally breaks, and she's like, no, I'm fine. It's okay.
No, but seriously.
And I'm sure Kath was just teasing me.
Maybe.
All right.
Kath was completely unmoved by your crushed performance.
Oh.
She was just looking at you with an evil grin.
So does the pouch help you? Did it work?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So this script, it's a mix of Sylvan and Draconic, but they're all mooshed together. I can't tease them apart.
That's the job for Jerissa.
Make a copy, and then let me make a copy of the copy, and I'll play with the letters and stuff and see if I can figure it out, because I have the linguist feat, and I want to use it.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll do that.
Like, I'm breaking codes is my shtick.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
No, that's... And I bring out my book, and I start showing you, like, all of my encrypted notes that I've been taking as we've been on. I'm like, I don't want other people reading this. They might plagiarize me.
No wonder you were so fast to pick up thieves' camp.
Yes.
Now it makes sense.
Didn't you guys break into the office together?
No, that was Agnetha.
Oh.
We've broken into other offices together.
Yes.
Kath pulls a grease stick out of her pack and starts writing it on the walls of the private room.
Cool. I'm gonna start copying this over.
Wait a second, and she immediately starts doing that. That might be bad. I don't know if writing it is magical.
I'll get a loose piece of paper and use that instead.
So yeah,
what if you turn the wall into a containment device by accident?
Yeah,
or turn off the walls by accident.
Yeah. So maybe instead of copying it exactly,
put half of it on one piece of paper, put the other half on another piece of paper.
Okay.
And then don't put the two pieces of paper together.
Or I can loan you my eye patch so you can see it and look at it.
Oh yes, that would be wonderful.
Just be careful.
I will be very careful, I promise.
Okay. There's a tan line of where that eye patch always sits across her forehead because she never takes it off.
Does she have an eye under there?
Yeah, but the thing is, it usually sits up across her forehead, and then she'll pull it down when she's using it. But yeah, there's a little tan line across her face of where she normally wears it.
It's a good look.
Yeah.
You still look piratical even without it.
So you guys copy, and you have the two different the two different scripts kind of pulled apart and separated. And with that, do you guys head over to see Jerissa?
Yes.
Sure.
Please.
I thank Finnelis again.
Okay.
I offer him a drawing.
And he's like, but of course, my ladies. Anytime you need my assistance, I'm here.
And I give him a drawing of some flowers that I found on the road.
Oh, you give him flowers?
It's a drawing of some flowers.
Oh, okay.
That I was fooling with on the road because we saw so many different kinds of flowers in the Feywild, and Deneen did that thing with the flowers in the temple. So I think she's been just thinking about that. She just wants to give him something other than honey candy. Although she could slip him some of that too.
So he folds it up and sticks it in his vest pocket. I will cherish it, and does the hands over heart motion.
If there's anything more in kind that I can do for you, do let me know. In kind.
But of course. So you guys head over to the library, the elven library, and the same grumpy old elf that's always there is kind of like scribbling away, barely like raises an eyebrow to look up, and like he's like, you know the way.
I wave with both hands and head that way.
Thank you.
And kind of just shrugs and goes back to scribbling.
I'm gonna, as we walk away when he's not looking, I'm gonna put a minor illusion of a book face down with its spine cracked open on one of the nearby desks.
Oh no, you're mean, you're terrible, that's cringy. I'm actually really triggered right now in real life.
Kat gives you a very approving look.
Deneen just shrugs like she has no idea what you're talking about. The book is, of course, The Adventures of Mommy and Friends, as if it's a real book.
So outside of Jerissa's workshop, where he usually is, and you guys, I imagine, knock on the door, and Bucket is there, acting as his manservant once again, opening the door and greets the three of you warmly in his metallic voice. Standing before you is a man made of clockworks and gears, dressed in the modern fashion for a gentleman in Gryphongaffe these days.
You look so fashionable, Bucket. It's lovely.
Well, I do try to upkeep it. My peers have always tried to stay with the trend, and apparently it would appear when we came over from the Clockwork Kingdom to this here Gryphongaffe, much has changed.
Compared to your home?
Yes, the fashions have changed much. I mean, we used to be from here.
Oh, you mean before you were
really
in your original kingdom and then had to convert into clockwork for your own safety and then came here for your own safety?
Yes. I mean, not here, Gryphongaffe, but this place.
Oh,
what were you before?
They were humans. They were fighting in some kind of a menace that was taking advantage of living, meat and blood creatures, and they converted themselves into these clockworks to keep themselves safe from their enemy.
I've never heard that.
I
can't remember. I thought I heard it. I don't remember what I thought I had this conversation with you, Bucket. Maybe they weren't around.
Perhaps. It's not really a secret to us. I mean, we lived it.
Well, I want to sit down
and talking to them. She might have actually heard this before.
Ask you some questions, because that would make a really excellent song.
Yes, it would.
Ooh, we could do the percussive bits to make them sound like gears.
Is that?
Oh yes, but just don't do them on me. There is a strange creature following me around, and he had spoons, and he kept trying to ding me with them. It was very bizarre.
I like him a lot.
We've explained to him that's not polite. We've explained. And I'm sure you explained as well.
And, in the meantime, in the background, there's, you hear the noise coming from the bench at the lab where Jarissa is working on something. He's grinding something up with a mortar and pestle and mixing some things. He's got a book off to the side.
Jarissa,
we have another problem.
You know we like you even when we don't have problems. Hopefully you find our problems intellectually interesting.
It is
have another problem.
It is convenient that I don't have much else going on in my life. The sad affair that it is, you always seem to find me here.
I would like to think we're your favorite clients, or at least one of your better paying clients.
Maybe you should ask Sheena out on a date.
Oh.
That would be more feasible nowadays. Although, don't get me wrong, I do like Sheena. She's very nice. As long as we can leave her work at home, I feel better.
She's always seemed like a very focused person in that regard.
I'm gonna put quietly, not mentioning this to anyone, but put it on my to-do list to set them up. So that's going
yeah.
to be a side quest for me now.
I mostly live a fairly quiet. You got emphasizes the word quiet, peaceful and safe existence.
And then we come back to town.
And she could probably really use that as an influence in her life, and maybe you could use some of the spice that she would bring to yours.
Spice isn't exactly the word I would use. Booms and explosions.
But yes.
So Jarissa, we have unwrap, and she holds it up with the fabric. We have this emerald that was originally the heart of some kind of a vegetable fairy dragon that tried to murder us.
Yes.
And turns out when you touch it, you get trapped inside it. You remember our friend Agnetha. And we have this new friend named Haley, and they're stuck in here, along with a couple of beetles.
So you want me to get out this new friend?
Well,
and
Agnetha. Probably get them both out.
Yeah, because we need it. We need it to use to put other things in.
If you could get them out without breaking it, that'd be great, because we need this.
I don't know if it's relevant, but we also stuck a couple of beetles in there.
Yeah.
The beetles, we don't care if they come or stay, though.
Right.
Yeah, send them back to Liverpool.
We're hoping to use this as a prison for a very bad person later. So if there's some way to pop people out of it without breaking it, that would be awesome.
There's Sylvan and Draconic written across it, but I'm having a hard time figuring that fish out.
I did copy it over though, and I'm pretty good with codes. So if you need some help with that part, I'm your guy.
Well, I will definitely take a look at it. This is probably going to take a little bit of work and some research. Can you give me 2 days?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We could totally stay in town for 2 days. That'd be fine. We'd be fine with staying around in town for 2 days.
Zuzu's still here, right?
Yes.
Right.
We need a rest anyway.
Bucket.
I fell from 80 feet in the air today.
And then got slashed up by quicklings.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Twice.
I've had a very rough day.
I think you fell from 80 feet in the air twice.
A total of 160 feet.
It was super impressive. And it worked.
It did work. It was impressive. And you should have seen the other guy.
I know how to dimension door now.
That's one way to learn it.
On the fly.
Did I mention how I try to exist peacefully and quietly and safely, mostly? You ladies bring quite the bit of excitement into my life.
It's all part of the service we provide.
We do occasionally make your town safer as well.
Occasionally.
Debatable.
Orc invasions, flying heads. Oh wait, that was in Ryler.
The flying heads were our fault. It was here, but they were sent by the monarch. It was kind of our fault.
But we fixed it.
We fixed it.
Well, I do hear these things happen, and who am I to judge? Yes, come back in 2 days. I will let you know everything I found. Hopefully by then we will have pried your friends from this place, including Agnetha, and we can maybe unlock the mysteries of this gem. And that seems like a good place for us to wrap up tonight.
I can't wait to hear what they did for 2 days stuck in there together.
Oh my!
Who knows?
I don't mean like that, but who knows?
No, but you know how like Agnetha's kind of like derisive about deities and things like that?
That's true. She's not a big fan of religion.
No.
I can just imagine the discussions that are happening right now. Like
the theological discussions.
If she's not trying to seduce her, she's probably trying to like convert her away from her faith.
Or just get her high or drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of it mixed together.
I will fall into this trap.
They both come out high, drunk, and pregnant. I don't even know how this stuff happens.
Magic, right?
Magic. But with
those were fairy beetles that we put in there.
Oh no. With that, we'll wrap up here. I want to thank you ladies for playing, and thank everyone for watching. As always, it's been fun. And hopefully we won't have to go without the game for that long ever again. So until next time, folks, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.